It has now been 127 days since the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. Investigators continue to sift through clues as they work to find answers. And this afternoon, Today Show co-host Savannah Guthrie took to social media to once again post about her mom. In an Instagram story today that includes a picture of religious artwork, Savannah wrote, "Oh my soul, it cries out, soul, it cries out."
Imagine waking up on a freezing cold night and your 84-year-old mother is just gone. No broken windows, no ransom note, just an empty bed and a chilling silence. This is the terrifying reality for Today Show co-host Savannah Guthrie. It has been 127 agonizing days since her elderly mother, Nancy Guthrie, vanished into the dark of the night. Whoever took Nancy Guthrie thought they had committed the perfect crime. They thought the police would give up. They thought the family would just cry and move on. But they were dead wrong. Today, the investigation into the abduction of Nancy Guthrie takes a dark, aggressive, and shocking turn. The hunters are about to become the hunted. The silence is finally broken, and it is broken in the most heartbreaking way possible. Savannah Guthrie has reached her absolute limit. Taking to her Instagram, Savannah Guthrie posted an image of religious artwork, but it was her words that sent a chill down the spine of the entire nation. Savannah Guthrie wrote, "Bring my mother home, whether she is dead or alive. I just want to see my mother." Think about the sheer pain behind those words. For months, the family of Nancy Guthrie held on to the hope of a rescue. They hoped Nancy Guthrie was sitting somewhere, waiting for the police to kick down a door and save her. But now the tone has shifted from hope to dark reality. Savannah Guthrie is no longer just asking for a rescue, she is begging for a body. She is begging for closure for Nancy Guthrie. What does it mean when a daughter reaches the point where she accepts that her mother might be dead? It means the family knows something we do not. This statement from Savannah Guthrie changes the entire direction of the case. It tells the abductor, we are not playing games anymore. The family of Nancy Guthrie is no longer just waiting for a ransom note. If the abductor is watching this, they now see a family that is completely broken, but dangerously determined. The words of Savannah Guthrie are a direct message to the monster who took Nancy Guthrie. The time for waiting is over. Now it is a hunt. Who took Nancy Guthrie? Was it a stranger, or was it someone who smiled in the face of Nancy Guthrie just days before? The police have rules, but a private investigator operates in the shadows. Frustrated by the lack of public answers regarding Nancy Guthrie, the family of Savannah Guthrie has brought in a top-tier private investigator. This is not just some local detective. This is a high-level expert hired to run a completely parallel investigation to find Nancy Guthrie. This changes the game for whoever took Nancy Guthrie. When you have a private investigator on the case, they do not wait for warrants. This investigator is now knocking on doors looking for Nancy Guthrie. They are looking directly at the 5 categories of suspects: the family of Nancy Guthrie, the friends of Nancy Guthrie, the home healthcare workers, the delivery drivers, and the people who manage the money for Nancy Guthrie. Imagine being the suspect right now. You thought you covered your tracks after taking Nancy Guthrie, but now there is a ghost following you. A private detective hired by Savannah Guthrie is digging into your bank accounts and watching where you go at night. The suspect must be sweating. This PI is going to interview the person who fixed the roof for Nancy Guthrie. They are going to question the person who managed the money of Nancy Guthrie. If someone took Nancy Guthrie for money, the PI will find the money trail. The abductor of Nancy Guthrie is no longer just hiding from a police badge. They are hiding from a relentless tracker funded by Savannah Guthrie. The trap is being set. Loyalty has a price, and Savannah Guthrie and her family have just set that price at $1 million. A staggering $1 million is now on the table for anyone who has information that leads to the return of Nancy Guthrie or an arrest. $1 million is enough money to make a best friend turn into an informant. It is enough money to make an accomplice pick up the phone and dial the FBI to tell them where Nancy Guthrie is. If Nancy Guthrie was taken by more than one person, this reward is going to destroy their partnership. Imagine the paranoia of the abductors right now. The main suspect has to look at his partner and wonder, is he going to turn me in for the $1 million offered by Savannah Guthrie? Even if it was a solo crime, the suspect has people around them. Someone who noticed strange behavior the day Nancy Guthrie vanished. This money is a ticking time bomb for the suspect who took Nancy Guthrie. The FBI tip line is waiting. Someone, somewhere, knows what happened to Nancy Guthrie. Whoever it is, they are staring at a screen right now, realizing they could become a millionaire just by making one anonymous phone call about Nancy Guthrie. The walls are closing in rapidly. The $1 million reward is a weapon designed to break the silence surrounding Nancy Guthrie. For more than 4 months, the curb outside the home of Nancy Guthrie was a place of mourning. A beautiful shrine made of flowers and photos stood there as a reminder of Nancy Guthrie. But today, our cameras caught something shocking. The shrine for Nancy Guthrie is completely gone. But why? There is a powerful psychological game happening here. Criminals sometimes return to the scene of the crime. By removing the shrine of Nancy Guthrie, the authorities and the family of Savannah Guthrie are taking away the suspect's visual prize. They are saying, we are done mourning on the street. We are getting to work to find Nancy Guthrie. The street is no longer just a place of sadness. It is an active war zone of investigation for Nancy Guthrie. The suspect, if they live nearby, is looking out their window right now, wondering why the flowers for Nancy Guthrie are gone. The vanishing shrine is a clear signal. The emotional phase is over, and the tactical phase to find who took Nancy Guthrie has begun. Why did the shrine for Nancy Guthrie really come down? Neighbors suggest a terrifying but necessary reason. The police are preparing for a massive secondary search of the property of Nancy Guthrie. Nancy Guthrie was 84 years old. She did not just walk out into the cold night alone. Someone entered the sanctuary of Nancy Guthrie. A secondary search means investigators believe they missed something the first time they looked for Nancy Guthrie. They are bringing in advanced technology. They are pulling up floorboards, using chemical sprays to find blood that was wiped away months ago. They are looking for a single strand of hair that belongs to the person who took Nancy Guthrie. If this was an inside job, someone who had a key to the house of Nancy Guthrie, they probably thought they cleaned up perfectly. But science never lies. The suspect is now panicking, realizing that the house of Nancy Guthrie is about to be turned inside out again. What if their DNA is under a carpet in the living room of Nancy Guthrie? The house itself is going to speak, and it is going to point directly at the person who abducted Nancy Guthrie. To crack the case of Nancy Guthrie, investigators have made a highly specific and urgent plea. They are demanding that every delivery driver, Uber driver, and resident near the home of Nancy Guthrie, who was out on the night of February 1st, turn over their dash cams and Ring doorbell footage. This is the ultimate trap for the abductor of Nancy Guthrie. You can wear a mask, you can turn your phone off, but you cannot turn off your neighbor's doorbell camera. You cannot stop a random driver's dash cam from catching your car driving away from the house of Nancy Guthrie at 3 a.m. Investigators are using a digital dragnet to reconstruct that entire night to find out who took Nancy Guthrie. The suspect might have thought they were a ghost in the night when they kidnapped Nancy Guthrie, but the digital eyes of the neighborhood caught them. Right now, thousands of hours of video are being watched by experts to find Nancy Guthrie. It is only a matter of time before a detective pauses a video, zooms in, and finds the person who stole Nancy Guthrie away from Savannah Guthrie. Despite the lack of a publicly named suspect in the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie, do not be fooled into thinking the investigation is stuck. The FBI and Pima County deputies are repeatedly telling the public it is never too late to call with information about Nancy Guthrie. Was it a financial planner who stole from Nancy Guthrie? Was it a bitter family member? Was it a random crime of opportunity by a worker who saw Nancy Guthrie as an easy target? The police are eliminating people one by one. The circle of suspects who could have taken Nancy Guthrie is getting smaller and smaller every single day. We are at the tipping point of the Nancy Guthrie case. Between the heartbreaking demand from Savannah Guthrie to bring her mother home dead or alive, the relentless private investigator, the $1 million reward, and the digital camera footage, the pressure is unbearable. The person who took Nancy Guthrie is trapped. They know the FBI is coming. It is no longer a question of if the abductor of Nancy Guthrie will be caught. It is only a question of when. The net is drawn tight, and justice for Nancy Guthrie and her daughter Savannah Guthrie is finally